If I asked you, how are we doing as a nation?
I would say we're struggling financially.
Good. That's right.
I think, yeah.
Quality of life.
I think quality of life
That's exactly right.
And I think that we are disillusioned with the institutions that should be supporting and protecting us.
Excellent. All right. So that's right. All that's right. So let's start off with, in one sense, we are the richest country in the history of the world, right? We have enormous wealth.
Yep.
Does that wealth apply to the vast majority of the people?
Absolutely not.
No. So unbelievably, and nobody talks about this. You ask me, we start off on the Democratic Party. The first thing you got to do is be honest with people and say, look, this is where we are at. We can blame whoever you want, but this is where we're at.
Here. Yeah.
All right. They don't acknowledge that. So you're living in a country where 60%, let me underline that, 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
Got it? I grew up in a family that lived paycheck to paycheck. All right? Where paycheck to paycheck is living under enormous stress. How am I going to pay the rent? What happens if my landlord raises my rent? What happens if my kid gets sick and I can't afford to take him to the doctor? You know, what happens if my car breaks down? You know that significant numbers of people in this country, you have money, you don't think about it. But if you don't have any money and your car breaks down,
it's over.
And it's a $1,000 bill to get it fixed,
Yep.
and you can't afford it, you tell me what happens.
Yep.
All right. Bottom line is you got millions of people, working class people, lower income people, struggling to put food on the table. Okay? That is the first profound reality. And the question we've got to ask is, why is that in the richest country on earth? All right, that's number one. Number two, you have a healthcare system. How's the healthcare? You tell me. Got a great healthcare system in America? Well, what do you think?
I mean, if you can afford it, it's pretty good.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's a better way to look at it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
All right? If you got the money, you got the best healthcare system in the world.
Yeah.
But most people don't. How many nations do not guarantee healthcare to all people as a human right? You guys know?
How many?
One major country. You're living in it. So here's the insanity. We are spending twice as much per person on healthcare as most of the European countries.
Guarantee free healthcare, not to correct you, but
yeah,
we won't refuse care if you need it. Oh, wait, we will.
Well, it's a little bit more subtle than that. Yeah, all right, let's say you have a $10,000 deductible, okay? Not unusual.
Yeah.
Okay. You get sick. What do you do when you don't have any money? You go to the doctor?
I go to the emergency room. I say, I'm sick.
Yeah, but you go to the emergency room, but you're not it's not an emergency. They'll say, well,
I'm just a little bit sick. I just avoid it. That starts to fester. It gets worse.
You got it.
And that actually probably causes more strain.
It does. And you know what else it results in? The study from Yale was that 68,000 people a year die precisely. You go talk to the doctor.
Off illness.
Next time you go to a doctor, say, are people coming into your office much sicker than they should be?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, they are.
And that's just avoiding copays.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
So people do die by the large numbers. What about our educational system? Psychologists tell us that 0 through 4, most important years of emotional and intellectual development. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we must have a great childcare system, right? Because we love our kids, we nurture our kids, we pay childcare professionals. Really, we appreciate them and respect them. We pay childcare workers McDonald's wages.
Yeah. It's shocking. It's also shocking how much competition there is to get your kid into like a favorable preschool.
Right.
Like you have to start lobbying these preschools at 1 year. My daughter is 15 months, and already now you're like,
he's like a pharma company to get his kid into.
Exactly. Like you're kind of walking in, you're meeting people, you're exchanging pleasantries, and it's all under this guise of, I hope they accept my kid.
Right. Because you have a massive shortage.
Yeah.
And if people don't have any money, it is really difficult. And so I don't know what it costs here in New York City. You know, in Vermont, it costs $15,000, $20,000. So, just...
Imagine you have 2 kids, forget it.
That's right, exactly.
Forget it, yeah.
Right, but again, take a deep breath and say, okay, if we as a nation understand that that's the future of America.
Yep.
We want the best. You would say, okay, we're going to have really great teachers for them. We'll treat these teachers with respect, pay them well. They're doing really important work.
Yep.
Taking care of your daughter is important stuff.
Agreed.
Okay? We don't. Public schools, I was talking to a principal in Vermont, in southern Vermont. They're starting teachers off at $32,000 a year. So kids, young people graduate school in debt. We're not getting the best and the brightest people. Do we respect, you tell me, do we respect education in this country? No, we don't, really.
What do you mean by respect it? Like,
that we say, man, you're going to be a teacher. That's
educators. I don't think educators get close to enough
We
respect.
give them a lot of
Absolutely.
platitudes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
but
noble is
We say
he?
we respect
But
them.
we don't treat
But
them with respect.
We don't feel the same way as if they're like some finance bro or something like that.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to that point, take a look at it. Harvard College, one of the best colleges in America, something like 5% of the graduates will go into education, and they're not going into public education.
Of course not, yeah.
50% will go to Wall Street. They'll go to consulting.
You make a great point, though. If college loans are so expensive, they don't even have a choice to go into
Exactly.
education. So is there some sort of system built in where, like, if you choose to go into education, that there's a way that
The loan will be forgiven.
something like that?
Yeah, there are small programs.
They have something like that. But
Teacher
that's a
America.
good idea. And again, I'm not making this up. I'm sure there was some system like that. But I imagine, like, maybe back in your day, that there was a version where, like, highly educated, not highly educated in terms of a master's program, but like people that went to elite universities before they went and got their master's or their doctorate spent some time educating. Was that commonplace?
I'm not sure. I don't recall that. But
But like, if there was a way to incentivize that, that might be
right,
good,
of
'cause
course, that's right. But what we have to do, give you an example, and what also bothers me is we don't look at what goes on around the rest of the world. You know, we kind of think that we're an island unto ourselves. What we should be doing is what is working around the rest of the world. So you take a country like Finland. To be a teacher is a big deal in Finland. Wow, you're a teacher. It's like being a doctor in this country. People respect them. They're well paid. They have a lot of autonomy, etc. But all that I'm saying here is that if you look at the fundamental institutions in America, healthcare, education, childcare, distribution of wealth in America, we are not doing well. And it's important that we acknowledge that. So, I mean, nobody, you talk about your very kind introductions and, talking about things that others don't talk about. How many people will talk about the reality that Elon Musk himself owns more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households? Is that a moral issue? Are we comfortable with that?